Hello everybody, Floppy Hat Photos back here for my first installment of 52 kayaking trips in 2017. Today's little trip was a fun little trip, interesting little process the way it went. Karen and I loaded up the kayaks and we headed up north to Ormond Beach, which is where her father lives. We basically found that there's 5 little ponds slash lakes all kind of tied together in that little housing complex. We ended up putting in the kayaks. Richard met us over there. I got in one, he got in the other, and we went paddling around a little bit to kind of give him some pointers. I wanted to give him some, hints and tips and that. And we had the dogs with us. I was babysitting some dogs today, so that was definitely, a fun little thing there. We got back. I got out of the kayak while Richard stayed in the water, in the kayak and that. Karen got in my kayak, which she'd never been in before, so I wasn't really sure how I was going to go. Because mine's a little bit tipsier than the one that she paddles around in normally. So I was definitely certain I wasn't certain how that was going to go, but it went well. She did perfectly fine with the whole thing. They basically paddled around for about an hour, I'd say, maybe a little bit more than an hour. Maybe they think they paddled around there, just having a good time. They kind of went down one of the canals between the two different ponds, and Karen got nervous that she's going to spot a gator or something, and she was going to be, like freaking out a little. So she kept thinking she smacked a gator with a stick and that, when it was actually, I think, just a stick with her paddle. So she turned around, headed back, and they hung out in that the one we put in at the little pond, the lake thing, or whatever call it. And then when they got back, they were pretty much done. So I dragged them up onto the dock, and they stayed with the dogs, and I took my paddle or my kayak out for a paddle, and I ended up paddling all 5 little ponds, lakes, whatever they are. And it was not really the most sightseeing trip, I guess. I was more trying to see how far it went and where they actually were going. So I just busted my butt and just paddled my ass off all the way across all of them. Kind of around most of them. I just turned into the thing, turned left, and see how far it would go before I found the next exit to the next pond. So ended up having myself a great time. It was wonderful. I think I was paddling for about an hour also. So we ended up getting in, about the same length of time. It's just mine was 15 minutes with Richard to begin with. Karen was out for an hour, and then I was back out 45 minutes at the end. But I made it to all 5 ponds in the 45 minutes. I was just paddling my little ass off there to see it all. So, but got back, unloaded, got out of the water, basically loaded stuff back up in the truck. Everything went well. Had a great time. Definitely be back out here to do these 5 little ponds again. Now I know where they're at. We might put in a different spot, save us a little bit of paddling, and go from there. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys soon. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Get out there, set yourself a little goal, and make it happen.